Ever wonder why it is that when you see animals congregating, like squirrels and birds, they're eating something on the ground, they're all just pretty much getting along, mostly, and everything seems to be pretty much harmonious. But the moment a human being enters into the area, they scatter like they're running for their lives. Have you ever wondered why that is? That's because human beings carry a signature of energy that is very dense, very intense, very laden, and it's also very malevolent because of the matrix that you're hooked into. Now, you have to understand something about the animal kingdom, the animal world, I should say, that they're very sentient, they're very cognizant, and they have a connection that is inexplicable to the divine because they don't have a matrix, just like special needs individuals. You ever wonder why you don't see them in public too much? Because this system, this cult, has no use for human beings, that they can't infiltrate their mind and manipulate them and exploit them and use them. That's why you don't see them in public. They're isolated in little pockets and little buildings that they're kept in. Even when you go to the school systems, which are indoctrination camps, you don't see them with you in your classroom. There's a reason for that, because that system cannot indoctrinate them, because they are the very embodiment of heaven on earth. They are the very essence of purity expressing itself in human form. And this cult, this reptilian cult, knows that full well. So they're not going to waste their time on people that they have deemed that are a waste of time, because they can't infiltrate that propaganda inside their mind. So therefore, it's futile. So why bother? So just isolate them and keep them away from the rest of the, alleged normal people. When I was a kid in the 70s, they used to call them mentally retarded. And I was like, wow, that's a really harsh saying, man. That's pretty gruesome to be referring to people like that. And then as I got older, I realized that what they call the normal people are the ones that are mentally retarded. And the ones that they say that are, those are the special people. Those are the amazing people. And I say this because, again, like when a human being comes near birds and squirrels, they all scatter. That's because you're carrying a satanic energy. And they know it. This is the reason why animals are sentient. They can always predict when a natural disaster occurs long before it's actually taken place. Earthquakes, whatever it is. You'll see animals scatter days before these occurrences actually take place. Why is that? Because they're directly connected to God. There's no satanic matrix impeding that connection. You can't say that because you're plugged into the very essence of malevolence. The system itself is nothing but evil. It's just the core nucleus of malevolence. And animals, they detect these things. That's why when human beings come by, they scatter. Unless you have food, or unless they've acclimated themselves to the presence of human beings and they've just, become normal with it and okay, as long as you're offering food, then they'll come to you. But 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, if you go into a park and there's birds and squirrels and you go near them, they'll take off because they don't like your energy. They're very cognizant about these things. They see things you can't see. Like children, they're referred to as having imaginary friends. Those friends are not imaginary. Those are souls that are actually accompanying these children, because don't forget, the younger a child is, the more new their arrival is here. And that is their departure from heaven. They have just arrived from their home here. So they have, mentors or chaperones or guardians that you can't see. The eyes of children are innocence. Innocence can see the souls. The eyes of adults, they just see bodies. That's what they see. So this is when animals, they're operating in a completely different vibrational environment than any human beings. Don't forget that, because they've been here much longer, because this earth isn't made for human beings. But you have to understand, whenever you enter into an area where there's a lot of animals, they don't like your presence for the most part, because the energy that you're unconsciously carrying, that you're connected to with the satanic matrix and demonic unconsciousness and all of the subliminal programming and all of it. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that line again. You know full well what's going on. And that's energy that you've absorbed and assimilated and you're carrying, and you're not getting rid of it. So you keep assimilating more of it, and it makes you more dense, more heavy, more laden, more intensified. The level of intensity and severity and magnitude of the energies that you're carrying is inexplicable. And they can see it. They can sense it. They're fully aware of it long before your physical body gets there. Long before your physical body gets there to whatever physical place that is, they know you're coming. Because metaphysical energies always precede physical presence. You understand? It's setting the stage for your physical arrival. So they know that already. They're fully aware of your intentions on being at that place at that time. So in that sense, you have to really respect what level of energy they're operating on, something that you and I cannot attain in this lifetime. So that's the reason why the animals scatter. I'm not talking about dogs and cats, because they know when they see humans, they see food. They know that you're going to feed them. But not so much so for all human beings, because animals do sense evil, just like some people do. And when you sense something that's off, you're not going to want to find yourself in the company of that thing or that person, right? It's common sense. It's off-putting. It's very putrid feeling. It makes your skin crawl. You skeeve being around these things or these people. Whenever a specific person comes into your environment, you feel like throwing up because the energy that they carry is just rancid. It's just so putrid. How many people are so self-absorbed and selfish and self-centered and self-serving and self-gratifying. I mean, that's what you're looking at in this population now. It's all superficial nonsense. People that look so gorgeous on the outside, but they're an empty vessel. It's like a brand new house. It's got all the vinyl siding, the new windows, the roof, and then you open up, it's all gutted inside. There's nothing in there. It's just an empty frame, a shell. That's what they are. They're empty vessels, offering nothing to the world because they don't have anything to offer themselves. And animals detect and sense these things. Energy never lies. No matter what the outside shell looks like, the outside packaging, the only thing that matters is what's in the inside. And if there's nothing on the inside, then they detect it. And if the only energy that you're carrying is malevolence and Satanism, then they're going to detect that too, and they're going to scatter. So watch how fast a human being comes into a park next to birds and squirrels, and they take off. See, now pigeons are different in Central Park because they're so acclimated to human presence. They just have become desensitized by it because they associate you with food. So they're willing to bear the presence of your energy in return of a reward. That's exactly what's going on. That's why they're referred to as rats with wings. But it's not true. Pigeons are beautiful, beautiful creatures. They are beautiful creatures. Think about what it takes for a bird to take flight and sustain that flight. People don't even think about it. They don't even think about it for a second. It's just another thing because they're so focused on all of the nonsense of the world. But this is the reason why when you go near animals, for the most part, they don't like you. Go into like a zoo and the tigers and the lions, they're reading your energy. And the gorillas, and the polar bears, they see what you fail to see because you're not operating in that high vibrational field of energy, because you're inhibited by a satanic matrix that's blinding you and lying to you and deceiving you and coercing you into believe things that aren't true. So you're actually existing in a wall of denial, encased within your own emotional incarceration. And you think you're free. You think you're actually operating of your own volition when you're not. You're just doing exactly what you've been programmed to do. Follow orders that have been packaged to make you think that you're actually free when you're not. Illusion is illusion, and there's no way around it. Democracy is an illusion. You think this is a democratic state or a democratic country we're living in? No way, man. Look up the definition of the word eminent domain, and that'll tell you about your democracy. It's just the way it is. But these animals, they sense these things. And they detect the true intrinsic vibrational nature of your soul, the signature of energy you carry, because it doesn't lie. You carry it in the form of colors, your aura. And not just that, it's something else that I can't describe through this medium here. But it's something that they have the ability to do that you don't. And that's what gives them that, all right, I'm out. Get away from this energy. No bueno. I'm gone. So they operate in a completely different dimensional plane than human beings do, because human beings operate in the lowest, slowest vibrational plane. That's why your last incarnation is going to be that of the human form. And then after that, if you've successfully broken that third dimensional barrier, you're gone. You have to enter into a carnal form. That's why they say reincarnation. Carnal, the physical. Re meaning to do it again. Incarnate means to do it once. And also you have to understand that your physical body is occupied by a multitude of souls. It isn't one soul per body. That's nonsense. That's where you get your multiple talents and gifts and abilities and intelligence from all of the accumulated past lives of all of the people and all of the creatures that you were. you take these things with you. That's why you have an affinity for cats or sloths or whatever it is. And that you can't explain why you love them so much, because at one point in a past life, you were one once. Just that simple. But anyway, just telling you the truth. There's a reason why animals take off when human beings come around. They just don't like the energy because of what you're connected to. And it's malevolent in nature, whether you realize it or not.